guys, here today just to have a quick chat with people because we're looking to give Sarah and some of our suppliers a steer as to what makes a good 3 men and a Proptech baby. Some people have sent us videos that are too short, too long, and I thought it'd be quite good for us just to have a quick discussion about what we feel makes for a really good sort of video content piece for us to be able to do our whatever magic is around it. What do you think, guys? Let's deal with the most basic one. Time wise, it feels to me that it's got to be a minimum of 5 minutes, maximum of 15. Are we all on the same page with that?
I completely agree. 10 minutes to me seems perfect. Obviously, clearly it depends on the product, doesn't it? If it's a CRM, for example, yep, probably a 3 men and a Proptech baby isn't the right solution, or maybe it's just a section of the CRM, but you certainly can't cover something like that in 10 minutes.
I think for me, there needs to be enough on there to talk about what we love and give our opinion on it. So if it's something absolutely magical and amazing, then sure, 5 minutes will do. But I think for most things, 5 minutes might be too short. And Richard's sweet spot of 10 minutes for me is probably, for most things, a minimum, and 15 minutes a maximum.
Because once we get gabbing, that's normally about half an hour. Let's face it, people have got enough hours in the day to focus on there. So yeah, that's the first thing we would say there. What do we think makes a good content video there? From my point of view, I think the best ones we've seen that people give us feedback is where it's literally a walkthrough, isn't it, of some functionality. And it's really important this, unless it's just a widget that's very, very simple, it normally needs to be quite a locked down bit of functionality. So if that's a new product enhancement or something you're very excited about, that's where it feels to me that we get best bang for our buck. What do you think, guys, in terms of the actual video that we want sent over to us?
I think anything that supports one story. So if it's about sales progression, then the story there is how does it support sales progression from the agency side? How does it make life easier for the staff? What's it do for the vendor and the buyer? How do they interact with it on the website? And what are the business benefits that the company are claiming? So then we can talk about the business benefits in the context of our agency experience. We could talk about how a quicker conveyancing speed, so reducing time from accepted offer to cash in the bank, means a reduction in withdrawal rates. And using our experience, we can apply our own stats to say, and this is what it means in pound note terms. I always try and take the view of, when I'm watching the videos, I'll talk about what I like, and then if there's something that I don't particularly like, I'll talk about, wouldn't it be better if, and try and sort of say positive messages. So, but I always want to try and put it in a business context and try and come out with either, where's the saving? Is it in terms of time, cash, or regulatory need? And it's always one of those three.
And the other thing is, we very rarely get any notes with these, do we? And actually, just because we are the three wise men, don't risk us missing out on the thing that you're really, really pleased and proud of. If there is something there that is important, is a nuance, just make a note in there as well and say, this is important, why? Because that will give us a nice conversation point to drill on from there. Because it'd be a shame if we go through all this for you and we miss out on one of the key elements you want us to drill into.
And for me, it's about what excites you. What is, if you get 2 minutes in a lift with somebody, what is a functionality you're going to talk about? What's that buying point? With my agent hat on, I would rarely want to lift my head above the parapet in the fear that once I did, I was going to be constantly chased and sold to. So this is an opportunity to demonstrate whatever that is which makes the agent pick up the phone, rather than a basic demo trying to keep stuff back.
The other thing is as well, it's important to point out, guys, don't need to go to production levels for the video itself. Some of the best ones we've had is literally somebody just jumping onto Zoom and just running through a demonstration. Because of the Gogglebox nature of this, we're talking on on a condensed screen anyway. So hopefully it's more about what we're talking about than just the visual. So it's a bit more guerrilla marketing, I would suggest, than a really polished edge. Well, you can say I'm not particularly polished.
Yeah, and equally don't put a load of pauses in there. If you were doing a sales demo in a room, you might make a point and actually pause to let the audience digest that point. You don't need to do that on this, because people can rewind, fast forward, and equally if it's a really key point, one of us three will pick it up, pause the video, and just start talking about it. And that's often where the agents get the best experience, because they've got our independent opinions on the solution. Having us being an advocate for a part of the solution of the supply solution is a really powerful message, because we're independent. This is our views.
Yeah, exactly right. Integrations work really well with these, don't we? Some of the best ones I think we've seen are when two companies get together, because actually visually and with our experience of knowing what products work hand in glove with other, that's where I think we can add a lot of value, can't we?
Yeah, integrations, new stuff, key features, USPs, anything that is a time saver, in particular an agency, or anything that's an instruction winner.
Anything you can give us in terms of ROI statistics, and I know sometimes that's difficult, but efficiency savings, we're looking for the eye-catching stuff that we can start to then play out in our minds and think about, well, if we can say for this kind of agency, it might be this will be particularly effective for 10 office agencies. When we give you back this video afterwards, that's then the perfect love letter to those businesses, isn't it? So the more you can give us in terms of metrics, and you can be as broad or as accurate as as narrow as you need to be. Just obviously don't overplay it, because we will take you to the cleaners if we think you're pulling the wool over our eyes. And the other thing is as well, look, sometimes we're going to reject these for the 3 men and the Proptech Baby, but don't worry about, still send this stuff through, because it may not work well for that particular kind of content piece, but it might work well. We say, actually, if it's a shorter piece, let's say 5 minutes, that might be perfect for a webinar panel show that we can build, that invites some guests on and talk about in more detail. So, do send those over to us. We will normally find a way of being able to use it in some format.
Yeah, and talk about the stuff a business owner will want. So when I used to buy technology of any sort, it had to tick a number of 3 boxes. Does it improve the consumer journey? Because that's important to me as an agent owner. Yep. Does it improve the user journey? Because if what a user being a member of staff, if I can now reduce 5 manual tasks I have to do, and it gives me an opportunity for revenue generating time, it's a benefit as a business owner. And lastly, does it improve efficiencies? And I think that many agents will have the same opinion. Does it tick those boxes? Yeah. So even if that side of the demonstration isn't the most sexy and you're not showing off dashboards or whatever, that's important to agents. And these videos are going out to agents rather than users.
Yeah. Cool.
Would a general rule of thumb be, if you're talking about functionality that's been around for a long time, but people are not aware of the business benefit, then it might be better on a panel show than Proptech Baby. Whereas if it's something new or something kind of outstanding, then we're the best marketing platform for that.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's difficult for us. If it's a claim, if that product cuts down the time from sale agreed to completion, however it may do, there's no point us sitting on here, because we're not able to demonstrate that it reduces transaction times by 10 days, 20 days. In that scenario, get a handful of agents who have actually witnessed it to talk about it on a panel show.
Cool.
Excellent.
Well, hopefully that helps, eh?
hopefully that gives you some context around it. If not, obviously bounce some ideas off Sarah there, but we just thought it'd be helpful just to give some ideas about what works. So keep them coming, and hopefully we'll be able to find a way of using your content going forwards. Thanks, guys.
Everyone's kerfuffling.